Reporting from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, this is Gene Frenette, sports columnist for the Florida Times-Union with Jaguars beat writer Vito Stellino. After the Jaguars broke through today, finally winning in easy fashion, 38-14 over the winless Detroit Lions, and Vito, they finally got off their backs today after two terrifically bad weeks against the Bengals and against the Browns, and regained their focus. The Mike Peterson saga this week caused a huge distraction in the locker room, but they came here today and took care of business.
Well, they were very fortunate they were playing a winless team today who came out and played like a winless team after the first quarter, because Jack Del Rio completely mishandled last week, and this team was really on the precipice. And had they been playing a better team, you noticed that the first quarter they did not exactly come out strong until the Lions just collapsed. So we won't know what this means until next week when they play Tennessee.
This week, the special teams really came through and really might have provided the biggest play of this game. It was such an easy blowout victory, biggest blowout victory on the road in the Jack Del Rio era. But it was still a 17-7 game. Midway through the second quarter, Gerald Sensabaugh blocks a Jason Hanson field goal, leads to a Reggie Nelson 26-yard return, and they turn that into a touchdown, and they go up 24-7. That was the big turning point. But to me, more importantly, they got the running game going today against a team that obviously has had a lot of trouble against the run. The Lions, 31 in the National Football League against the run, and the worst defense overall. And as you said, it just seems like facing the Lions today came at a perfect time for the Jaguars.
No question, and the Lions coaching was just hard to believe. Why were they trying that field goal that was blocked? It's 4th and 2, it's 17-7, you're 0-8. What did they have to lose in going for it? And then the Jaguars came right back down the field. They faced a 4th down, went for it and scored, and now it's a blowout. So, and then Marinelli starting Culpepper. I mean, he was so rusty. If they don't have any confidence at all in that Stanton kid to not play him, that's a major problem in itself.
The Lions started 31-year-old Dante Culpepper today, who hadn't played in a football game in almost a year, and the rust really showed. Although he did complete that deep ball to Calvin Johnson, overall he just didn't move very well in the pocket. The Jaguars, a team that's had just a horrible time getting to the quarterback this year, has a season-high 7 sacks today. Derek Harvey gets a sack and a half. Darrell Smith gets a sack and a half. The Jaguars' pass rush today was so effective against the one-dimensional Lions that even Jimmy Kennedy had a sack. So today was one of those days where it was a real catharsis for the Jaguars. The question now becomes, though, is it enough to propel them to turn around next week and knock the unbeaten Tennessee Titans from their 9-0 perch?
That's what we'll find out. Remember, they had 33 yards rushing against the Titans the first game, and David Garrard was sacked 7 times in that game. And they also turned around Tennessee's season by knocking out Vince Young and opened the door to Kerry Collins. So the one thing this win did was it made the Tennessee game a lot more interesting. The shame is that they're not in the Lions division, so they could play them again.
Well, fortunately for the Jaguars, talking about the Lions division, they are playing 3 other teams from the AFC North, and David Garrard, starting quarterback for the Jaguars, is now 7-0 in his starts against NFC teams, and they've still got 3 more of these NFC opponents to go. But the attention now turns to Sunday's 4:15 game at Jacksonville Municipal Stadium against the unbeaten Tennessee Titans, and you would think if there's any game left here this year in Jacksonville where there's going to be a real electric atmosphere, that would be the game. Reporting from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, this is Gene Frenette and Vito Stellino for Jacksonville.com.